it's Chris Miles. Today's episode of New on Music Row features artists from, well, Illinois, and not just because we're based in Illinois, but because, there's an artist from Illinois that's good enough to be on the charts. See what I did there? I don't know. Anyway, and then we've got a couple artists from Virginia, as well as an artist from Tennessee, and also an artist from Arlington, Texas. All that and more on today's episode, including some of my awkwardness in this promo as well. Stick around. You don't want to miss all the details coming up right here on the Rise Network and New on Music Row. Hey, it's Chris Miles. Welcome to today's episode of New on Music Row. It is Friday, September the 19th. That's no special thing for that, except for, it's just Friday, right? That's when the music comes out. I remember back in the day when new music used to come out on Tuesdays, because that's when they used to release CDs. Yeah, I'm that old, kids. But they don't do that anymore. And actually, they don't do it on Fridays sometimes now either. If you listen to Morgan Wallen, you know that he kind of releases stuff whenever he wants to. They do some on Monday as well, and I've even seen sometimes where they release stuff on Wednesday for some reason. But anyway, let's take a look at what happened last week. Where did everything stream and whatnot? We started off with Jason Aldean, How Far Does a Goodbye Go? Of course, this one was kind of a no-brainer. 755,000 streams and still climbing as we're speaking. So, it's going to be another hit for Jason. I don't know if it's going to be a number one, but, maybe the people that like the slow ballads will give it some more likes. We'll see. Then we had Dan Seals and Luke Bryan with a song called Everything That Glitters Is Not Gold. That had about 198,000 streams. And I think I said last week that Dan Seals was part of Seals and Croft. He's actually the other Seals' brother. And he not turned on, but he went into country music. He was like a pop star, and then he went into country music, mostly in the 80s, early 90s. But if you listen to that song, it was actually pretty good. So hope you enjoyed it. Then we had Rodney Atkins, Hell of a, 82,000 streams for the week. Rodney, of course, trying to regain his popularity with that song. I think, another couple of weeks or so, and you'll start to see that one get some numbers as well, too. Warren Zeiders had Only Bible. Warren's really popular right now, so the fact that he got 577,000 streams for the past week, not a surprise, I think, to anyone, to be honest with you. And last but not least, the guy that we featured on the Rising Star Spotlight of last week, Matt Cooper's Real Fast Car. Remember I told you he had a lot of pop influences in his life. He said Taylor Swift influence and some other artists as well. And in Real Fast Car, you can kind of see those pop influence as well. But he's a rising country star nonetheless, writes all of his own stuff, and I think he's one for you to watch as well. So kind of where we thought things were going to land. Did anything surprise you? I don't think so. Did you have any things you wanted to suggest? Feel free to leave them in the comments below. Just let me know. There's always great country music coming out, and there's always great ways to have conversations about it as well. Speaking of great music, let's take a look at the five picks for the week this week. I think my tongue's getting stuck in the back of my teeth or something. I don't know. I'm so excited about this because I learned about this guy in the early 2000s, but right before 2010. And he's the Billy Joel of country music. And I just love this guy. Phil Vassar has a new song coming out. It's so awesome that he's got new music coming out. He's actually touring. If you want to catch him, he's out on tour. So just look up his website and you can see some dates. I know he's going to be coming to this area pretty soon as well, too. So maybe we'll have some footage from that concert. We'll see. But of course, Phil Vassar, some great hits. He actually wrote stuff for other artists as well, too, before he actually decided to do his own solo thing. He wrote Bye Bye, which Jody Messina made really popular. Well, he did a version of that as well, too. And then some other great songs from him. Just Another Day in Paradise. Absolutely love that song. Little Red Rodeo, which a lot of people really love. They also love Being in a Real Love, both really, really being in a real love and the song as well. And then my favorite one from him is Take That As a Yes. If you know that song, I think it's the Hot Tub. I think it's subtitled the Hot Tub song as well, too. So, but anyway, great song for other purposes as well too. Little hint there for you guys. Just whatever. Maybe have some wine. Anyway, I'm not going to go into it. All right, moving on. From Waterloo, Illinois, Alexandria Kay got another song out there. What He Does, which is a tribute to the man that she's currently in love with, who has, in her words, pretty much transformed her life after a marriage that kind of went the wrong way, so to speak. And it's great to see her smiling, and it's great to see her enjoying things. And you know what? The last song that came out, Straight from the Heart, shows that as well, including Feminine Energy. That was huge on TikTok for such a long time. Really good on the teasing there, she was, because there were social media videos all over the place about it, but you couldn't hear more than like 30 or 40 seconds of the song. And it's just well written and a great song. So check that out if you haven't already. Best Worst X is my favorite song from her, as well as Backroad Therapy, which is a great song about going over to somebody's house that you're supposed to like have an engagement with, so to speak. And I don't mean engagement like wedding. I mean engagement in another way of saying things. And then realizing, hey, you know what? There's nothing for me here, and I'm just going to go a different road, and I'm going to go on a different path. And that's exactly what she does in the song. And then also take a look at That's What Love Is. Great song from her as well. So Alexandria Kay, What He Does, one of the 5 picks of the week for the week. Lauren Watkins, we talked about her a couple of weeks ago. She was the Rising Star. Actually, I think it was about a month ago now. She was a Rising Star Spotlight. She's got a great song out called What He Does. Slippery Slope, rather, is the song that she has out. She's from Nashville, Tennessee. She's a great up-and-coming artist that's just kind of blossoming and coming into her career. So pay attention to her, watch, kind of see what's going on and things of that nature. I think she's really going to surprise you. Check out some great stuff from her. She's got Gatlinburg, Anybody But You, a cool song called Shirley Temple. The last song we featured, I think it was called Lose My Cool, and I'll Get Through It. Those were some of her last hits. Great stuff from her. Take a listen to her. Tell me what you think. Let me know in the comments below. Moving on, Spencer Hatcher, a new rising upcoming star, got a song called When She Calls Me Cowboy, which is actually a really cool song. It's very well written, and it's got a great story to him. Now, Spencer is from Shenandoah Valley, Virginia. And he's got some great stuff to take a look at. Like I said, he's up and coming, so not a lot of you may have heard of him. But, that's what this show is about. We introduce you to some of those up and coming artists that maybe haven't had all the airplay just yet, or they're just starting to kind of peek into their own. And Spencer Hatcher is one of those artists. Get some great stuff out there. Cold Beer and Common Sense, such a great song. It's kind of a tongue-in-cheek thing. It's a great song. Has Anybody Ever, which is a real deep soul-searching song. If you take a listen to that, it might affect you in ways that maybe make you do some soul-searching as well. And then last but not least, on the inside again, Spencer Hatcher. Check him out. He's going to be a household name kind of in the next couple of years here. He's got to get some more stuff under his belt, but from what I was reading, he's got over 100 songs that he's written. A lot of these artists do. They have a lot of songs that they write. Some they write just for, whatever reason. Maybe it could be a therapy situation, or it could be just because it's a song they had in their head, and then they realize, you know what, I don't want to release this on an album because it's a little bit too personal. But again, Spencer, check him out. He's got some great stuff out there, and he's going to have some more music on the horizon as well. Last but not least, a guy who we're going to feature in the Rising Star Spotlight for the week. Kind of needs no introduction, especially if you're into those like TV shows where they feature singers and people trying to break into the biz, but they don't really have anything out there. And by those shows, I'm talking like American Idol, America's Got Talent, The Voice, shows like that. The guy's name is Drake Milligan. You probably heard of him now that I've mentioned his voice. You may know him for some other things as well, too. And we'll talk more about that as we get into the Rising Star Spotlight. But he's got a song coming out this week called Tumbleweed. It's a great song, and I think it's kind of a progression in his career, so to speak. And I think you're going to enjoy it. Some other stuff from him that I'm currently enjoying, Don't Leave Me Loving You. It's such a great song, tearjerker, in my opinion. Kiss Goodbye All Night, which is kind of a great song for other reasons. Sounds Like Something I Do. It's the biggest hit that he's got, and the most streams as well. I think it had over 47 million when I looked at it or something like that. Over Drinking, Under Thinking is a cool song, but don't try to say that 3 times fast because you'll probably get tongue-tied like I almost did. So that's your 5 picks of the week. What do you think? Any of these you're looking forward to? Or any of these that you kind of knew about already and you're like, yeah, I totally agree with you? Or are you like, you're way off base here, Chris? Let me know in the comment section. We can start a conversation for sure. I'd love to engage with you guys and, kind of get the ball rolling, so to speak. But let's take a look at the 5 picks for the week. Phil Vassar's What It Means, Alexandria Kay's What He Does, Lauren Watkins with Slippery Slope, Spencer Hatcher with what she calls me when she calls me cowboy, rather. See, that's that tongue twisting stuff going on. And then Tumbleweed from Drake Milligan as well. All the 5 picks of the week. And speaking of Drake Milligan, he is the Rising Star Spotlight of the week from Arlington, Texas. Like we talked about, he describes his music as a fusion of classic country music and early rock and roll. And when you hear a little bit of his story, I think you'll see why. He grew up in a home where he was inspired by country music. His father listened to like Merle Haggard, and then his parents both love Elvis. He saw an Elvis impersonator at a very young age at like a nearby restaurant, and that kind of solidified the deal for him, so to speak. Basically, he decided to become an Elvis impersonator. So when he was a young kid, he was like, "This is what I want to do." So he traveled around the area, around the Fort Worth area, from age 9 all the way into his teens, and it led him into an acting role actually as the rock and roll legend. Yeah, he played Elvis in Sunrise Records, which was a CMT series that was featured on CMT in 2017. Then he was also in a short film called Nobody. That was from 2014 as well. And he just, he got the gig because he got the swagger, if you know what I mean, right? I mean, if you've ever taken a look at Drake Milligan and you've watched him in some of the portrayals that he's done, even if you've watched like Sun Records, he's got the swagger. He's got it down. You either got the swagger or you don't have the swagger. I mean, that's how it works around here, Anyway, but yeah, that is kind of what catapulted him in, and then he decided to, do his thing. He went on America's Got Talent. He was in the top 3 in season 17 of America's Got Talent. He showcased original music in his own voice as well. And of course, America's Got Talent, they do covers and stuff like that. And then every once in a while, they're allowed to do their own stuff. And that's where he really kind of shined, so to speak. He also he also credits George Strait as one of his influences as well, along with Alan Jackson and Dwight Yoakam. And you can hear those infusions or these influences in his music as well, too, especially like the Dwight Yoakam stuff. He's got some great combinations of things in there as well. His debut album, Dallas Fort Worth, came out in 2022. It was praised for its classic yet unique sound, and it features kind of a deliberate split with Dallas having a more polished country pop sound, and then the Fort Worth side of things is kind of leaning into a traditional honky-tonk style, which he's got some great honky-tonk songs as well, too, to check out. So some stuff to check out from him. Don't Leave Me Loving You, Sounds Like Something I Do, which is pretty much the biggest song we talked about that people know. Over Drinking, Underthinking. Like I said, don't try to say that 3 times fast. Don't even think about it. Just underthinking. Yeah, see, there you go. All right. And then Kiss Goodbye All Night, which is kind of the song it is the song that's on repeat. I've fallen in love with this guy. And I really hope that things develop for him. And hopefully by featuring him as the Rising Star Spotlight on the show, you guys will start enjoying him as well, too. Like I said, his new song that's coming out this week, Tumbleweed, check that out. It's available on Spotify and Apple Music and all places you can stream platform-wise as well. Speaking of that, this episode and all our episodes are also available on Apple Music and Spotify as well in the podcast form. If you're watching the vodcast, or if you don't know about the vodcast, that's available on Yahoo. You can see my blue Hawaiian shirt that I got. See what I did here? I did the Elvis thing, and I wasn't even thinking about it. I literally just grabbed this today, and I was like, yeah, I'll put this on because it's a fun kind, Hawaiian shirt, and it's got blue palm trees or blue flowers on it, and now I'm doing like the whole blue Hawaiian, blue Elvis thing. So you see what I did there? And it's YouTube, by the way, that you can see us on. So if I didn't mention that already, but that's where you can catch the vodcast, only exclusively on YouTube, right here on the Rise Network as well, too. So Drake Milligan, the Rising Star of the Spotlight of the Week, and that's going to take us into the country music history part of the show. We talk about birthdays. We talk about things that happen on this date in country music history. Of course, this is for September 19th because this is airing on September 19th when the new music is coming out for the week. So, born on this day in 1963, Bunker from Bunker Hill, Mississippi, a guy by the name of Jeff Bates. Most of you may not know who he is. He is rather an American country music artist. He had 2 albums with RCA, which basically accounted for 17 chart singles on the Billboard country charts. 3 of them reached the top 40. The love song, I Want to Make You Cry, and Long Slow Kisses as well. So Jeff Bates, artist to check out, real big, back in like the 70s and 80s and stuff. Born on this date in 1963. We've got a lot of birthdays today. As a matter of fact, we've got what I call twinsing for birthdays. I don't know if this has happened to you in real life, but I have a couple people that I know in my life that were born on the same day that I am, and I call them like my birthday twins, or we call each other like twinsing. I know it's weird, but we won't go into that. Born on this date in 1964 in Monticello, Georgia, Trisha Yearwood. I don't think I need to say any more about her, but I will, because that's what this is all about, right? She's best known for her ballad about vulnerable young women from a female perspective, including the 1977 song "How Do I Live," and also what else? She's in love with the boy, and X's and O's. I mean, the list just goes on. And of course, you probably know that Trisha's married to Garth Brooks, right? I mean, that's kind of that thing, right, too? She's also got some new music out as well, too, so check that out. But she was born on this date, September 19th, 1964. And then last but not least, here's the birthday twins. Born on this date in 1985, guy by the name of Chase Rice. He co-wrote the song Cruise by Florida Georgia Line. His first #1 single on country radio was Eyes on You. And that went #1 in 2019. And then also born on this date, a guy by the name of Nate Smith. Yeah, Whiskey on You, World on Fire, both #1 hits for him back in like 2022, 2023, respectively. So kind of cool that those 2 artists who kind of have different sides of the country globe, so to speak, born on the same day, September 19th, 1985. So happy birthday to all 4 of those artists. I can do math. Yes, I can. Just not right now. But then let's go into the country tube and go back in history and take a look at some things that happened on this date in country music history. 1963, The Jimmy Dean Show. I don't know if it's related to the sausage or not, but it probably is. It aired for the first time on ABC TV. It was an hour-long weekly series. It's a variety show of types. It featured country performers like Charlie Rich, Roger Miller, Eddie Arnold. By the way, for those of you that are new to country music, these are like all country legends. So you may want to check them out and see like kind of where country music got its roots, so to speak. Connie Smith, Buck Owens, Jim Reeves, Red Buttons, Johnny Cash. It was basically a variety show, which also gave puppeteer Jim Henson his first national media exposure as well. Of course, Jim Henson, known as the creator of the Muppets. So also some cool things to check out. Go on YouTube while you're watching this vodcast, or after you're done watching this vodcast, then like search for Jimmy Dean Show on YouTube, and you can see Jim Henson doing some of his things with some of his puppets as well, too. So kind of a cool tie in there, right? Then in 1987, the 3rd Farm Aid benefit concert took place in Memorial Stadium, Lincoln, Nebraska. These Farm Aid shows were just huge growing up as a kid because, they were all about trying to help those in need, trying to help farmers and families raise money so that they could produce things in the good old US of A. And this concert was organized by Willie Nelson, John Mellencamp, even Neil Young. And a great lineup of artists for the show. Emmylou Harris was there, Vince Gill, Lyle Lovett, John Denver, Lou Reed, John Mellencamp, Neil Young, the Bandula Doctors, Joe Walsh, Willie Nelson, The Unforgiven, and Dr. Starr as well. So it was a cool time back then, being a kid growing up in the 80s and seeing like the way that artists would get together and do things like, USA for Africa, and then I think Hands Across America, which I don't think that was really artist related, but it was there. And then there was another pop song that was released back in the day called Do They Know It's Christmas, which was another one that was used to raise money for those a little less fortunate in the world. I think that was for Africa as well, too, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. Moving on, 1995, All I Want, the 3rd album from Tim McGraw, was released by Curb Records. Singles featured I Like It, I Love It. You're probably singing that song in your head, and I'm sorry that I put that ear nugget in your head, but hey, you know what? I like it. I love it. So there you go. Can't Be Really Gone, All I Want Is Alive. She Never Lets Go, or She Never Lets It Go to Her Heart, and then Maybe We Should Just Sleep on It. So Tim's third album featuring like what, three hits, three like big hits for him off of that one album, and of course that was released on this date in 1995. If you want a shout out, you want to, maybe wish somebody a happy birthday or happy anniversary or any other kind of special thing, just hit us up. Let us know. We'll feature it on an episode. Even if it doesn't coincide with the dates, don't worry about it. It's kind of cool to like send people like cool messages inside of things and be like, here, look at this. It's really cool. So yeah, I'd love to do that for you as well too. Moving on, the very last thing, want to talk to you about a gal by the name of Danielle Bradbury. Now, she kind of blew onto the country music scene, more so because she was like in The Voice. I don't know if she actually won it. I think she got to like runner up or something like that. But she's got a new song that came out last week, and you know what? I got to tell you, when I first heard about her, back when I was working in country radio, we were giving tickets away for her, and I did like a little promo thing, and I started listening to some of her stuff, and I'm like, this girl's got a really amazing voice, and I don't think she's getting some of the credit that she deserves. She's got some great songs out there. Stop Dragging Your Boots was a song I know that we played on country radio. It's got like over 1 million streams. Great song. A couple of the great songs from her though, Sway and Worth It. Check those out. She's just got. I can't say it enough. You know how sometimes when you just listen to an artist and you're just like, man, this person can sing, or they just captivate you with the way they sing, or how powerfully they sing, or how deep they go. Like when I listen to Danielle Bradbury, especially, she's got a cover version of Shallow from Born to Be a Star, I think it was, is the name of the movie. It was released like a Star is Born. That's what it is. And the movie's like been released like 3 times. Barbara Streisand was in it with Chris Christopherson. The last one, I'm not going to remember the guy's name, but I know he played he was the voice of Rocket Raccoon, or Rocket Raccoon. I think that's what it is in Guardians of the Galaxy. But it's also yeah, Bradley Cooper is his name. There, it came into me. It came to me. There we go. And then last but not least, and this gal that co-starred with him, I mean, she doesn't really need much of an introduction. She's doing like all kinds of commercials now, and she like what 5-7 years ago or whatever, she wore like a meat suit, and that was like something that made the news. Lady Gaga, of course, who I'm talking about there, but Danielle Bradbury's version of the song is like so comparable to Lady Gaga's version, and like where Lady Gaga can go with her vocals. I don't think Danielle gets the credit that she deserves, and I think you should be listening to her. She's from Cypress, Texas. She, it's kind of started out her career writing songs as a form of therapy, which that like. I don't know what it is. I just have a thing for artists who just love to like be real and just expose the weaknesses in themselves. It just, to me, it just makes the song much more relatable, and it just kind of it gets in the heartstrings. Like I remember when Alanis Morissette came out with "You Ought to Know," and we all heard about who that song was about and everything. Dave Coulier is who it was rumored to be about and stuff like that. Just another, I mean, you could tell that she was singing from the heart, and that's the same thing with Danielle Bradbury. So check out Dent. It's a cool song. It can be a little cruel depending upon where you look at it, because she talks about like this guy not leaving a dent in her life. But I mean, it's so raw and it's so real. And I mean, starting at age 16, she was encouraged to audition on The Voice. And this is kind of where things just kind of started for her. She's one of those shy girls. Like she didn't really go out and sing. If she sang, she did it like in her room or in the shower. Her dad was kind of like that as well too, or is kind of like that as well too. And it's just really interesting when you get into these people's stories and you see how things are. I mean, obviously, if you see her on stage now she's out there, she's doing her thing, but she's reserved and she's not like it's all about I enjoy what I'm doing. She was on Team Shelton when she was on The Voice, and then I'm sorry, she actually was the youngest winner in the show's history at the time as well too. And she's collaborated with a lot of artists. She's worked with Thomas Rhett, Nick Jonas, the Zac Brown Band, and then even Jordan Davis as well. So she's been very open about her struggles with anxiety. She actually has a song about it called Monster. She released it in 2023. So again, like just artists that are just real and they're raw and they're not afraid to just like put it out there. And I understand that it's hard to do that sometimes, especially because, some of the demons that we battle with are pretty rough. And sometimes it's hard to, get those out. So music can be that therapy that you need, even music writing. So here's the thing. If you have a dream and there's something that you want to follow and people are telling you no, don't give up on that dream. Only you can get yourself where you want to go. Nobody else is going to understand that. It's you. You are the one that can live your dream. And I'm just here to encourage you with that. Hopefully this music will help you and encourage you as well too. Hopefully some of Daniel Bradbury's songs will connect with you. Maybe Worth It will be one that connects with you. Maybe Monster will be one that connects with you as well too. Whatever it is, whatever your dream is, go at it and don't stop going at it. That's my encouragement for you for this week. That's the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I love being here, being able to give this stuff to you guys and the information and sharing all these great artists and these great songs with you. Next week, we'll have another episode jam-packed with more stuff as well, too. But you know what? You can only catch it right here on the Rise Network. So check us out on YouTube if you want a vodcast. We're on Spotify. We're also on Apple Music as well for the podcast version. But you know what? New episode ready. We'll be ready to go next Friday. You don't want to miss it. You can only catch it here on the Rise Network. And until then, I'll see you on the flip side.